The next thing that we're going to be talking about in analogies is what we do when we have some unknown word. So I think the most important tip here is that it's best to skip this question and come back if or when we have time. If you don't know the word, it's going to be really hard to make a connecting sentence in general, so it's probably best not to waste time on it. Leave it alone and come back if you have time. But we're going to talk about how we do it anyway. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to define a connecting sentence for everything that I do know. If my question has the word that I don't know, I'll want to make connecting sentences for the answers and try and see what can fit in here to make some sort of educated guess. If the word is in one of the answers, then I'll try and make connecting sentences for the other answers and for my question so that I can try and disqualify the answers. The point is to make connecting sentences for everything that we do know, and then check with the question and disqualify our answers. Let's take an example. Something and sad. So there's a word that I don't know and sad, so I can't make a connecting question. I'll have to work from my answers here and try and make a connecting sentence between them. So a charlatan can make someone be tricked. Okay, do I know something that can make someone be sad? Yes, there's something that I know that can make someone be sad. There's many things that can make someone be sad. So at this point, I can't disqualify this answer. Job and earn a living. Okay, the purpose of the job is so that you can earn a living, right? The purpose of the job is to earn a living. Do I know that the purpose of something is to be sad? I don't know if it's the purpose of anyone to be sad. It's not something that I really know. It doesn't sound right to me. So I would disqualify this answer. Am I sure? Is it an exact science? No. It's an educated guess. Raise and tall. If I raise something, then I can make it become tall. Do I know something that if I do it, I can make it become sad? Yes. If I make someone sad, then I'll make him become sad. So I can't disqualify this answer. Undress and clothing. Undress is to take off clothing. Do I know someone or something that they take off sad? Doesn't sound right. So I'll disqualify and I'll be left with two answers. From here on, it's a guess, but a more educated guess. You're guessing you have 50% of success here rather than 25%, and it's definitely not an exact science, but this is what we do when we don't know a word. Define the rest and see and make some sort of educated guess based on the things that you disqualify. Your vocab is important in the psychometry. It does, like if you don't know a lot of vocabulary or a lot of words, then in analogies, it's probably one of the only places that you'll see very, very high vocabulary. So it pretty much will only affect you here. And also here it'll probably be in one or two questions in the exam. So even if your vocabulary is not that big, like it's important to have good vocabulary. However, if you don't have, it doesn't mean that you now need to study for 5 hours all of the words and improve your vocabulary, because there's only around 2 or 3 questions in the exam that you'll have. So your vocabulary and your grade won't necessarily, your vocabulary won't necessarily affect your grade the way that you think it will. However, it is important to know. So that's what we do when we don't know a word. And we are now finished analogies, and we're going to go on to the next subject. And now you need to practice.